Next up, race 12, La Touche Cup. Well done to David Hooley taking the bumper in the last. It's purely a time thing. They didn't get commed. I do apologise. Anyway, 4 miles and 2 furlongs this one. It's La Touche Cup. Drumlagan for John Morgan. Mayhem on Ice for Darren Thompson. Closing argument for Paul Parsons. Rocky Mountain Way for Paul Parsons. Cumbrian Dancer for David Robertson. Mac Cooper's Katie Holmes and Countrywide Scimitar. Matador for Martin Eden. Agara McRae for Alex Cherry. 9 of them. A few of these were in the Grand National, including the winner. Also, though Drumlagan for John Morgan was a short-priced favourite, had no joy. You can make amends here at Punchestown in La Touche Cup. And it is Drumlagan that's going to lead us into the first. We all clear it. So Drumlagan leads from a well-held Matador and Agara McRae. Wider of those are Cumbrian Dancing and I think Countrywide Scimitar. Closer back to the rail is Katie Holmes, I think. And closing argument, running alongside Rocky Mountain Way on a long line. A chasing pack. And just the one I haven't mentioned is Mayhem on Ice, the Grand National winner. It's Drumlagan that leads. Second. Everybody's over it. You imagine they will be able to jump. I think most of these fish. I'm not sure if Drumlagan fell last week. I don't think he did he? If he did, I don't remember. Maybe looking to stay on his feet this week if you can, although conditions are different. It's a bit of a flat old track compared to the galloping one of Aintree. As they go past the third, I always think Punchestown's a bit like a billiard table. I think it's just that it's so wide. So as they go out for a couple more circuits, it's Drumlagan that leads them to the third. Takes it well. Stake at the back by Mayhem on Ice. Well, they hit that hard. The jockey was lucky to stay on his plate. He's gone out of picture now. But we've still got a very long way to go. There you go. You can see his shadow. Lucky the sun's always shining and Stardust orders. Clear the fourth. Rocky Mountain Way was rather slow. The Drumlagan, a 5-length advantage from closing argument, and Cumbrian Dancer and Matador the Grey, and Katie Holmes. And the second grey's out wide. It's just Countrywide Scimitar as they go over the fifth, just on the outside of Agara McRae. And then Rocky Mountain Way and Mayhem on Ice. He's back with the pack. Horse pack or rat pack. Most people don't even know who the rat pack is. I'm sure we've got some people that probably do. Frank Sinatra. Who else was the rat pack? We could have a horse pack. I don't know who that would be. Starters Orders pack, no. Let's go back to talking about the rat pack. Joey Bishop, that's the one everyone forgets. Peter Lawford. I think he was a bit of a half-time rat pack. I think he was just because he was married to Kennedy's sister. And obviously Frank Sinatra was obsessed with JFK. Was desperate to be his pal. Well, he was his pal, I think, until Kennedy snubbed him because of his connections with the mob. Anyway, that was a quick American history with John F. Kennedy and the rat pack. Anyway, we're through 8 here. It's Drumlagan that leads from closing argument in second. Cumbrian Dancer and Katie Holmes together with Matador. Countrywide Scimitar, Agara McRae, Rocky Mountain Way and Mayhem on Ice. As we were. But Drumlagan leads by 4 to closing argument in second. About 3 back to Cumbrian Dancing. And Katie Holmes and Matador. Countrywide Scimitar, Agara McRae, Rocky Mountain Way and Mayhem on Ice. Drumlagan approaches the next. Through that. Be halfway through the fences of La Touche Cup when Drumlagan takes the next. Just the one on the turn, if I'm not mistaken. There's a big ditch. No, it's not the one on the turn. We'll get over that, including Mayhem on Ice rather stepped over it. towards the grandstand and the finishing line. And there's Drumlargen leading comfortably by 5 to close an argument. Let's drop back just a little bit to Cumbrian Dancer and Katie Holmes. Matador, Countrywide Scimitar, Rocky Mountain Way and Agara McRae. And then our Grand National winner, Mayhem on Ice. Through another. Oh, we've lost one. It's Matador that's gone for Martin Leadham. Grade 1 winner earlier in the day. With Annie Golden. So you shouldn't be too unhappy with a faller. You should be happy with your one win. Don't be greedy. So Drumlargen leads and past the winning post with a full circuit to go. Another 9 fences. Closing argument, about 5 lengths adrift, and then about 3 back to Cumbrian Dancer and Katie Holmes together. And Rocky Mountain Way was getting closer all the time, but slowly edging his way through the pack. And we've got Agara McRae, Countrywide Scimitar, the other grey, and Grey with the jockey, and then Mayhem on Ice still at the rear. And come to the next. Clear it. Drumlargen still leads from the closing argument in second. 1.5 miles left to go. Cumbrian Dancing's just been sitting there. Katie Holmes, Rocky Mountain Way. Garner McRae. Countrywide Scimitar. And Mayhem on Ice finally gets out of that tail end Charlie position and demotes Agara McRae, but just by a nose. That's the first time he hasn't been last for a while. Drumlargen's lead has just been shortened now by closing argument. Just a couple of lengths between them. A length or so, length and a half maybe. And about 4 back to Cumbrian Dancing. Katie Holmes up against the Row, Rocky Mountain Way. And the grey Countrywide Scimitar. Mayhem on Ice still got to get past a few yet. And Agara McRae's just at the rear. So Drumlargen takes him down to the next, rides into it well. They all clear it, although another mistake by Mayhem on Ice there. She shuffles back. Countrywide Scimitar wasn't particularly good over it. Drumlargen, we've only lost the one, which was Matador. We're through 18 fences. It's Drumlargen leading from closing argument. Cumbrian Dancer getting a couple of reminders, still moving well now as Rocky Mountain Way, getting closer all the time. He's shuffled his way through the pack. Then Katie Holmes, she's probably just 2 lengths away from the rest, with Agara McRae, Countrywide Scimitar and Mayhem on Ice having a bit of a ding-dong. But it's Drumlargen that leads from closing argument in second. Rocky Mountain Way moves into third, then Cumbrian Dancer is fourth and Katie Holmes is fifth. Moving up now is Mayhem on Ice on the wide outside, leaving Agara McRae and Countrywide Scimitar behind. But Drumlargen being ridden into the next. It's Drumlargen opening up a bit of an advantage now as he starts to pull away from the field, but Mayhem on Ice is starting to chase him down. The two Paul Parsons horses don't look like they've got a lot left. Also moving well is Katie Holmes, but it's Drumlargen by 5 to Mayhem on Ice. Still got 1/2 mile to travel, and it's Drumlargen from closing argument who's now having a bit of a second wind, as well as Katie Holmes up on the outside. They're over the big ditch, so with just 1 to take now, and still 3 furlongs to run. It's Drumlargen still got a 5-length advantage from closing argument who's got the round. Mayhem on Ice is not really picking up anymore. Katie Holmes, Rocky Mountain Way looks a little bit locked in there. Agara McRae's come from nowhere, but it's Drumlargen still holds the lead in La Touche Cup as we come down to the final 1/4 mile. Drumlargen from closing argument is trying to get closer all the time. Drumlargen from closing argument. Katie Holmes, Agara McRae is moving really well on the outside. 1.5 and 1 to take. It's Drumlargen down to the last. He's over it well. Closing argument does jumps well. Closing argument jockey's not asking for anything, but Agara McRae, Drumlargen, closing argument, Agara McRae, Katie Holmes is between these. Drumlargen holding off closing argument. Closing argument's going to get up, but Drumlargen and closing argument, Agara McRae and Katie Holmes. No, it's Drumlargen. Just hangs on there from closing argument. I thought that pole was the finish. I do apologise. I was so concentrating on the race, but well done, Drumlargen held off after 4 miles and 2 furlongs for those first 4 to finish, within a length of each other. Maybe even less than a length was brilliant. So Drumlargen, well done to John Morgan, holding off closing argument of Paul Parsons, unlucky. Katie Holmes for Marvellous. Matt Cooper, well done in third. Fourth was Agara McRae for Alex Cherry. Should also be pleased with that run, but we've only got a week to go now after this week. And Rocky Mountain Way also for Paul Parsons was fifth. So we'll move on to the last of the day.